Love him or hate him, Donald Trump is creating another media frenzy when it's coming to his 9/11 comments on Twitter and all over the mainstream media saying,
my brother kept us safe because September 11th was one of the worst days in the history of this country.
Now in this video, we're going to give you the lowdown behind Donald Trump's comments and Jeb Bush's defense and the bigger truths with sources and facts surrounding this huge media frenzy that's happening right now. Obviously, Donald Trump is tweeting a lot of information out there that is pissing off Jeb Bush, like saying he's pathetic, saying our brother kept us safe on 9/11. He also said he could prevent 9/11. The media, instead of discussing the facts of this case, they're talking about the strategy of pissing off Jeb Bush and how Donald Trump is using this. But seriously, let's examine some of the facts. We have Bush's former administration member, Ari Fleischer, calling him a 9/11 truther. But if you look at the facts behind Donald Trump's comments about George Bush keeping us safe, how could that be possible when there's facts and documents showing how the president received a daily briefing on August 6, 2001, saying that bin Laden was determined to attack within the United States? We had warnings from Russia. We had warnings from Israel. We had intelligence agencies warning that a possible attack will happen very soon. We have mainstream media articles saying that there was insider trading within the stock market predicting the fall of American and United Airlines way before 9/11. CBS even reported on this very fact of how people within our own financial system used this strategy, this horrible event in our history to profit off, clearly document and foreknowledge. And who made these predictions that these stocks would fall and short sell them and put options on them? People like Buzzy Krongard, who managed firms who did these deals. And the mainstream media is still talking about strategies. There was huge newspaper articles, even by the New York Post, saying that Bush knew. People within our own very government, like Ron Paul, said that the U.S. government had foreknowledge of the attacks. There's family members, there's rescue workers, there's survivors, there's whistleblowers within our own very government. There's scientific experts that defute the official story. And they are not being heard in this important debate that's happening right now. Even the very fact that George Bush was in a classroom and knew the attacks were sitting there justifies Donald Trump's comments. All he was doing there when he knew the country was under attack was sit there. Now, more information is coming out right now. This is just breaking news that came out right now, saying that Tony Blair and George W. Bush plotted the war in Iraq 1 year before the invasion. New information is coming out from investigations dealing with Hillary Clinton's email, showing how there was a deal in blood before the evidence even came in, before they even falsified it, before they even lied about the weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. These criminals plotted the death and suffering on hundreds of thousands of individuals, our veterans, for their own extremist neoconservative agenda that benefits the very few. Now George Bush is actually charging $120,000 to give speeches to soldiers like Donald Trump that he put in harm's way and were wounded for his horrible foreign policy decisions. And this delusional madman, Jeb Bush, is actually using Trump's comments to do fundraisers using 9/11. Jeb Bush, many people don't know this, but he was actually a member of the Project for a New American Century, an extremist group started way before 9/11 in the late 1990s, calling not only for race-specific bioweapons, but for a catalyzing catastrophic event like Pearl Harbor that needs to happen so the United States could invade countries all over the world and regain their dominance and power in the global sphere. Now, there's a lot of things I disagree with Donald Trump, but on this one, he has a point. We're still going to make a video about why you shouldn't vote for him like every other candidate, so don't forget to subscribe to this channel. But some of the things he's saying are harsh truths that the American people need to face. Like when he said Saddam Hussein and Muammar Gaddafi, if they were still in power, the Middle East would be safer. Now, the American public needs to understand the greater facts and evidence of this case because it's showing how criminal and insane the neoconservative extremists are. And people like Jeb Bush are still being advised by the same powers that led to 9/11. But not only led, there's a deeper and uglier truth of how our very own government not only knew, not only profited, not only benefited, not only used 9/11 to justify their horrible extremist neoconservative views, but there's evidence directly pointing the finger at them.